Alright there, Fiddlemate Yorkie here. Welcoming you back to, well, I suppose Yorkie's Nightcap. I'm recording it in the middle of the day because I've had to give up nighttime streaming for now until medication issues with my dear lady wife are sorted out properly. So, Rogue Trader, let's continue. We've got ourselves a navigator now. Let's see what else we need to do in the system. Investigate the Adeptus Mechanicus on Monastery on Ricard Menoris. We did. We didn't manage to do that. Become a god, new blood. I think we did that, didn't we? We know Ricard Majoris. Let's see what's going on there. Didn't scan anything. We do have this. Opening map of the Kronos Expanse. The Kronos Expanse is a vast region of space where you'll travel between different star systems. In each system, unique events can occur. By steering your flagship towards them, you can explore planets, study anomalies, and interact with other ships. Switch to the map of the entire Kronos. Click whatever. Okay. Augurs note that a large object among the lifeless rocks covering the planet, a void ship whose signature and origin are impossible to identify from orbit, is resting on the edge of a deep ravine. The hull of the unidentified vessel is severely damaged. Rocks around it, shattered by the force of gigantic machines, crash landing. The Augurs haven't detected any vital signs aboard or near the vessel. Send a squad to the planet to explore the void ship. The landing party reports via Vox as soon as they touch down. The colossal void ship before them is covered with spikes. It resembles a morbid beast sculpted from darkness itself, menacingly hanging over the ravine. An inexperienced veteran accurately determines the origin of the unholy vessel. It belongs to the Xenos race called Drukari. Ready to collapse at any moment, the void ship emits a long woeful creak, as if promising to drag along into the abyss below anyone who dares to disturb its slumber. Abelard suggests finding out what Xenos were doing in the Ricard system. Taking heed of the Seneschal's recommendations, the Rogue Trader orders send more people to the planet, possible. Anxious, Adira tells the Lord Captain that voices in her head are screaming, repeating words, harbinger, darkness and death. Not wanting to tempt destiny, the Rogue Trader decides to call the people from the vessel. That would interest me, but it doesn't mean I'd pull back necessarily. Argenta eagerly says that the only good Xenos is a dead one. A true servant of the Emperor shouldn't soil their hands with. Shut up. The Rogue Trader orders more people to be sent to the Xenos void ship to collect any valuable findings. Being the God Emperor's chosen, I don't care about that. Alright, yep, let's see what we find. Monstrous contraptions designed to mince, rip apart and incinerate their victims took the soldiers by surprise, but were neutralized before the squad suffered significant losses. The soldiers found several curious pieces of xenotech on the sinister void ship, but no data that could shed light on why it came to the Ricard system. Got assortment of Drukari barb needles, Drukari shatter shard, venom blade, a blade pistol, a blast pistol, etc. There's nothing else there, is there? So other than not being sure how we should deal with the monastery. Hang on, you're at 5. Have we not done that? Begin scan. No signal. Added to the world's expanse. Okay. Vox, Master Vigdis. Lord Captain, there is some commotion among the officers' deck. The Lady Navigator has left the quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. Yeah, let's go do that. What's going on, Cass? What's eating you?
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
The Lady Navigator is engrossed in perusing the dusty tomes, which appear to have been neglected by the other officers, be it because of sloth or dullness of mind. When you walk closer, Cassia looks up at you and starts and hides a weathered book behind her back. I see you're fond of reading.
Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing.
Cassia carefully shows you the book, which turns out to be a collection of works by the Acadian naval commander and poet, alias Quent.
Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works.
Cassia gently brushes the dust off the cover with her thin, clawed hand. Her eyes filled with longing after reminiscing about her last home. The events that took place on Urak 5 must have shaken you greatly. Are you well?
One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you.
Good. Cassia's response is reserved and pointedly decorous, clearly intended to create a distance between you. I hope that you've ample time to calm yourself and your powers.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis Nobilete.
I can certainly agree with that.
But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior and your question just now insulting.
You could have chosen that if you wanted. Cassia tosses her head back and straightens. Are you satisfied with your new attendants?
Your servants are somewhat sluggish when it comes to attending a noblewoman of the Navis Nobilete, but they are quite tolerable. Thank you for your concern.
Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, and awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of navigators often becomes the topic of gossip among lowly servants and officers alike. It is clear that she does not feel comfortable aboard the ship, teeming with new people.
Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying? You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
After an awkward silence, Cassia frowned and pursed her lips.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
Frightened by her own words, Cassia covers her mouth, pales, blushes, and then pales again, and hides her face behind a cascade of snow-white hair. Nothing to apologise for. Human emotions are natural, be they good or bad. It's just natural to share them with others. Let's see, quite right, so I would ask that you mind what you say if no. It is indeed difficult for me to feel empathy for a mutant, no. believe this conversation has reached its natural conclusion. If I'm Voidborn, a lot of Voidborn are mutants, and I may not be, but at least that's my understanding. That means I would have grown up knowing mutants and wouldn't find it that hard to be empathetic towards them. Yeah.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So, why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here?
The primness of her expression cracks, revealing great weariness beneath. She places a hand on a breastplate.
At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... my delight must seem childish to you, surely. In your heart, you must be finding all this quite amusing.
See, what I find childish is your manner of addressing me as if I were your friend. The mistaken belief that anyone... No, definitely not. I want camaraderie between those I wish to keep around. I understand what you are going through. My own life was turned upside down not so long ago. Possible. Show appreciation, understanding. I am not in the habit of finding amusement at the expense of my people. Just remember, no, I'm not. She's potentially dangerous, but also powerful, so I'm not going to say that.
Indeed. I did not know. That is to say, I could not have known, as it is the first time we are speaking in a circumstance so... private. My word, when I found this place, it was so full of officers. Why did they all leave?
She glanced around the room, growing somewhat sheepish. I do not tolerate idlers on the ship, and my officers know it well. Perhaps my people did not wish to disturb you. I'm not just going to blow her up with that, but I don't want to lie to her, and either of those kind of lies. That's an outright lie, though. And that has some truth to it.
Then, I must take my leave as well. I am due to inspect the Sanctum Navis after the communion ritual and prepare the chamber for the upcoming warp jump. Thank you for your company.
Cassia thinks for a moment and then nods curtly. That's fine. That's fine. Right, out we go. Excuse me. Yeah, the way I want to run it, definitely with a strong direction, but also, and you don't get to rebel against me, but at the same time, those who are lower down must be treated with the respect due to underlings, and know there's a route to address concerns. Those who are higher up, those who I want to keep around, I want to have me view them as an ally, possibly a friend. You me. Still not getting this training thing. I don't think they want to buy anything. Yeah. So that's not a thing. Okay. There's still Rickard Manoris. But I don't know what else we can do here. Let's get promoted at least. Perception. Like it's only +4. Jinx has more than 50% wounds. All chances of all creatures, including enemies, in a 3-cell radius are increased by 10%. Just a flesh wound. The Voidborn character has a 20% chance to survive after suffering lethal damage. The last plan. Per combat into Crime Lord has at least one stack of Surefire Plan. They do not die from lethal damage. Agility is not that good. An enemy affected by Surefire Plan. Start the return if the Crime Lord has no stacks of Surefire Plan to gain 1 stack. It will not die. Increases wounds by half of the character's level. I don't think any of those are going to appeal to me. Your perception is high. Flicks an exploiter even on enemies which are out of operative line of sight. That's fine. I'm going to give you some ballistic skill. Right, you. Instant exposure, that's fine. A ballad. Oh, enemies adjacent to warrior at the start of the turn. The warrior's damage is increased. No. Charge and push increases the damage of ranged attacks made until the end of combat. Alright, yeah, because I usually, if the charge kills someone, I'm firing at range, aren't I? Athletics, that's fine. Idira. Every time the Psyker deals damage, they gain 1 stack of Sanguine Siphon effect. If that damage was dealt to a target adjacent to the Psyker, they gain +2 stacks. When the Psyker suffers lethal damage... no, that's just for lethal. Whenever the Psyker heals themselves or another character with a psychic power, or an effect applied by a psychic power, this healing can critically heal with a chance of that. That's fine, because she's a healer. Give you willpower. A holier than thou character. Rack and ruin. Unpredictable's already got. Reload, rapid reload. Combat Medicae. Yeah. I didn't even look what that was. No, heresy sort of fits in with her character, so yes. Alright, Cassia. All done.
Let the faith guide my path to glory. When the faithful are idle, heresy grows.
Okay, so we go... we open the gate.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
I mean, I'm sure I've missed something here. Heretics could kill swiftly, yeah.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
We've been in here and we've looked at both of them. Nope. Nothing there.
The divine watches over us.
Does it? Nothing there. Nothing in here.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Also nothing here.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Who's yelling? Who's this? Dead heretics, okay. I don't really want to go. Ow.
Reclaim what is rightfully ours.
The whispers call to me.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Don't worry about it. Don't fret. Yeah, there's nothing else here.
Duty.
I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't see what. How do we get there? Hang on, there's this.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
I've suffered worse. Unexpected result.
We have here
Rise above hardships.
a multitude of symbols are carved into the enormous generator. You realise they are the foundational tenets of the electoral priest religion. Standing out among them is a triumph of reason over all of the facets of human nature. You haven't met humans recently, have you?
Experience? Nothing matters more.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
There's nothing else here. What about this door? That's something I haven't been in.
I'm not satisfied with that answer. I will repeat my question again.
Oh.
The last electro priest you killed, where did you find him?
Burn in the fire of dawn, servant of the corpse emperor!
And another one meets the limit of his utility. The last of them.
Hello. The tall, dark-haired man sized you up with a quick glance. A supernatural chill is making the air around him crackle softly. The expensive fabric of his jacket is stitched in gold thread and marked by several reddish-brown stains. A forced sword and a vox hang from his belt, and the emblem of the Holy Inquisition glitters on his chest. Ah, we found the Inquisitor. You try to focus on the man in front of you, but you cannot shake the image of the deadly torture inflicted on his victims. Your pulse quickens, blood pounding in your ears, and sweat beading your skin. Seneschal, isn't this the chap we're supposed to find for the Lord Inquisitor?
I dare say it is, Lord Captain. Now, if it were possible for the gentleman to properly introduce himself and dispel our doubts.
Seneschal? Lord Captain? Do I have the pleasure of speaking to a rogue trader? Allow me to introduce myself. Interrogator Heinrichs van Kalox of the Imperial Inquisition's esteemed Ordo Xenos. I must confess, I'm perplexed to meet someone of your standing in a place like this.
I'm here to collect you. I'm under orders from the Lord Inquisitor to offer any assistance you may require, after which I am to provide you safe passage to football aboard my ship.
Then the timing
I'll
of
go
our
along with it
meeting
for now.
is fortuitous. I am requisitioning you and your retinue for my task.
Hendrix ruminates silently on what you have told him. Then he makes a of satisfaction.
Requisitioning? Young man, your choice of words is unseemly to the point of insult. You're addressing a rogue trader.
Abelard left speechless for a moment.
I don't imagine you'll be any happier if I say taking into inquisitorial custody.
Hendrix cast an apprehensive glance at Abelard.
To aid his faithful servant in the fight against corruption is the solemn duty of all whose actions affect millions of the Imperium's subjects. Let your example guide those who will carry the Emperor's light across 1,000 stars.
You are familiar with the works of Inquisitor Alistar the Redeemer. Not every acolyte can say the same, let alone people less initiated. Please forgive my lapse in manners, Lady Navigator Orselio. It is a great honor.
And Nick's arched an eyebrow examining the coat of arms on Cassia's clothes.
I came to Ricad Minoris on a mission, which a rebellion prevented me from fulfilling. The governor is convinced that malcontents from among the rabble were the instigators, but I immediately suspected a more sinister presence at the root of the mutiny. My visit to the monastery and a few unhurried conversations with some of the rebels confirmed my suspicions.
And Nick's glanced at the dead body at his feet.
Someone by the name of Aurora is leading the rebellion. Data indicates that the head of the cultists is here right now, in the sanctum of the ancient reactor. Given the prophecy of the final dawn, and the special efforts made by the enemies of humanity to seize the monastery, their goal is to gain access to the holy power source's control circuit and trigger a process that, once started, cannot be stopped. In other words, to detonate the reactor, thus being themselves the cause of their much-touted final dawn.
Blasphemous insanity.
The tech priest eyes up flashes and turns a blood scarlet. Self-Thomas from activating systems is heard from under his robe. What did you do to him?
I convinced him to cooperate. I can influence living bodies, and I find that the interrogated are much more eager to share information once the blood starts to boil in their veins.
Okay. So let's do what we're doing at the monastery.
I arrived here with an escort squad, only to lose it in our very first open skirmish. The monastery is swarming with heretics. The soldiers I requisitioned from the governor fell in battle, bled to death, or deserted. I had to make do with catching and forcefully interrogating individual rebels. It is from them that I learned what I relayed to you just now.
I'm willing to help you with the Aurora. Let's join forces.
Thank you. Regrettably, the governor's people showed themselves to be unprepared for the perils of this place. And extracting blade shards from a person's stomach is beyond my powers. I hope that a rogue trader's retinue will prove more capable than a group of soldiers fresh off the base. I am positive that not all of the electro-priests within these walls have perished. The heretics spoke of shadows emerging from side alleys to make short work of the cultists invading their abode. I surmise that the entrance to their hiding place is somewhere in the hall, near a machine known as the Circular Cogitator. I imagine it's one of the local sacred relics which the electro-priests treat with special piety.
All right. The Lord Captain knows that the entrance to the priest's hiding place is located near the Circular Cogitator. Right.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Let's get all that. And then we're heading this way, aren't we?
Let the faith guide my path to glory. What is rightfully ours?
The Circular Cogitator, the electric priest's hiding place, must be nearby.
The Divine watches over us.
Ah. Let's interact. Machine also accepts the oh, okay. Didn't even get a chance to read it before we
With
move
each
in.
step, I forged my destiny among the stars.
A shortest, muscular man wearing the scarlet colours of the priesthood of Mars steps into your path. The wrinkles on his cheeks and the forehead point to his propensity for frequent outbursts of fierce anger. But right now he is showing no signs of aggression. Glowing blue patterns of electric tattoos or electus show through his oddly bluish tinted skin. The man's eye sockets are dark and empty, yet he turns his face straight towards you with no hesitation. He has a sharp, screeching voice, not unlike a bird's cawing. May the charge of the Omnissiah's mercy persist in the hands of the faithful. May the motive force persist in the batteries. I, rogue trader Angelina Reid von Valancius, declare this monstrosity to be under my protection. Navis bows his head. The motive force brought you here at the right time, Pilgrim. The hallowed electrodynamic Cenobium receives you, Pilgrim. I am Dar Impulse 6, a servant of the motive force and the praetor electrode of this sacred monastery. Pascal bows down humbly before the man. A trail of binaric signals comes from the Vox, to which the praetor responds with a solemn gesture of blessing. Pascal turns to you and says, "The rank of the praetor electroid is a sign of high standing within the electro-priest fraternity. To have been granted an audience is a great honour. You have the honour of hosting the rogue trader of House von Valancius. I urge you to follow the proper etiquette when interacting with the imminent bearer of the sacred warrant. In these walls, worldly titles are nothing before the motive force. Your deeds, however, speak far louder than titles, for your path here is sprayed with the blood of desecrators. It was you, was it not, that Logis Abel came here seeking an interpretation of his data trance? Yes, Tech Brother Abel arrived here to engage in a magnetic meditation that would help clarify his visions. Unfortunately, the heretic machinations prevented us from completing the ritual. The esteemed Logis volunteered his help in defending the monastery, but contact with him was lost soon afterwards. Tell me more about Logis, Abel. We did not speak much to each other. He preferred to devote his time to solitary reflections in his chapel. The Omnissiah has given Tech Brother Abel a gift of great insight, which allows him to discern each individual facet of existence, rather than the overall view. This makes his logic different from that of other people. His mind has always been able to combine facts and conclusions into harmonious wholes that were nothing short of beautiful. Many among my flock found his sermons poetic. What kinds of visions was he receiving? The Omnissiah's revelation was encrypted with great meticulousness, which indicates its great importance. Grasping it fully is beyond my ability, but a single touch was enough for me to realise the enormity of the secret concealed within. Or more exactly, the secret design, which was how Tech Brother Abel referred to it. His mind had discerned the world around him, traces of some grand silence they wished to comprehend. He's dead. Sad news indeed. Tech Brother Abel was chosen by the Omnissiah to be a comprehender of great mysteries. May his spirit's motive force come into being anew in the fount of the miraculous fusion reactor. Why are you calling me a pilgrim? Only those lay people who desire to experience the motive force are allowed to cross the monastery's threshold. All others are profaners and criminals. You do not belong to the fraternity of electro-priests, but your intentions are good. If you were not seeking the Omnissiah's wisdom, then it was the motive force itself that brought you here to find it. What happened here, and how did you manage to survive? When the heretics descended in droves upon this cenobium, we gave battle, but the unholy foes buried the Omnissiah's warriors under a mass of their bodies, thus extinguishing the defenders' sparks of purity. It was then that I ordered my few remaining brethren to retreat into the monastery's secret chambers. Upon taking refuge there, we began to destroy the blasphemous intruders in surreptitious ways. Alas, as fiery as my brethren's anger was, I had no right to permit them to die in honest combat, for the task of taking back our abode still lay ahead of us. I must commend the skill with which your secret chambers are concealed, says Henrik. You hear a tinge of wounded pride in Henrik's words, as if he is upset about failing to discover the Electro Priest shelter. Your choice of tactics was wise as well. There was no point in losing more lives in the massacre that was the cultists wrought. The leader of the heretics fought her way into the Ark, wherein dwells a miraculous fusion reactor. She is trying to desecrate the rite of operation with her unholy litanies, so that the relic may be corrupted, and the world of Rick and Minoris may perish in a fount of fire. But my brethren in their magnetic meditation are hampering her efforts by chanting access request prayers in unison, thereby suppressing the commands that the blasphemers enter. Praetor Electroid nods towards his entranced comrades. This holy place will be protected against sacrilegious practice, I swear it. The monastery was attacked by people who looked like Electro Priests. That is a lamentable mistake. We knew of no help that was on its way, and were not expecting to encounter allies in the monastery's chambers. But I see that you are alive, and I mourn the senseless deaths of my brethren. I wonder if you would have so touchingly mourned the Lord Captain's death, or if such sentiments would have been awoken by the sound of our void ship delivering a punitive strike from orbit. My enforcers and the Governor's guards can help you reclaim the monastery. I cannot allow this. Lay people are forbidden from visiting the monastery, and only a select few are allowed to behold the Ark and the relic within. You and your retinue are pilgrims of a special status bestowed by the Emperor. However, should any soldier unblessed by the Omnicia cross this monastery's threshold, I will deem them a heretic and have them put to death. Confirmed. The presence of lay people on monastery grounds without the Praetor Electroid's blessing will be regarded as sacrilegious violation of the holy rite of operation. Heinrichs opens his mouth for a second to say something, but changes his mind and quietly clears his throat instead. Sure, better to die protecting their lumens and coils than to accept help from the unworthies. And we're left to deal with a mess as usual. You made the right decision when you chose to avoid combat and save yourselves. Thank you, Pilgrim. It was not easy watching unholy intruders stampede throughout the chambers of my temple. We all envied our brethren who had fallen before that sacrilege began. I have a few questions about the place and the people in it. Truth is like light, and blocking its path is criminal, the Praetor Electroid nods majestically. Who are you? The hard-working servants and dwellers of this cenobium, Electro Priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The Corpuscari did us a great honour by entrusting into our care the sacred relic around which the hallowed Electrodyme cenobium was built. What precisely do you believe in? We have devoted ourselves to the worship of the aspects of the machine god, which is known as the multi-force. It is the blessed divine spark that creates impetus in the universe. The Omnicia, in his mercy, gave the world the gift of the multi-force, and we follow its impulses in order to increase it, bring it to lay people, and protect it from unholy hands. The relic that this monastery protects provides the entire planet of Rick and Minoris with the blessed multi-force, and we, unworthy though we are glad to serve the ancient machine that dwells in this place. This relic, why don't you tell me more? It would be pointless to describe the miraculous fusion reactor. Only through beholding its ferocious power can one comprehend the blessed essence and fear the might of the Omnicia. Its core was found 4,000 years ago and delivered to Rick and Minoris by the holy warrior of faith, Lock Impulse. Lock Impulse 1 during one of his campaigns. Its sacred spark has not gone out for an instant, and the walls and power units of this cenobium have been erected around the relic in order to protect it from ignorant laypeople, as well as protect them from its formidable might. Pascal keeps his solemn silence, but the quick clicking of his mechandrite's claw betrays his excitement of being so close to a sacred archaeotech. You don't like other members of the Adeptus Mechanicus I've met. Our faith imposed the duty of obedience on us. Every electoral priest is given numerous lectures that combine in a blessed Voltgeist circuit, allowing feeble flesh to withstand the might of the motive force. That is why our skin glows with its light and our eyes boil and melt when we are ordained. The Omniseal's tears is what we call this phenomenon. This dying away of unworthy flesh. As we shun the layperson's primitive means of looking at the world, we gain the ability to sense the motive force around us with our own bodies. I understand everything. I am pleased to be the conductor of truth. I wish to get to the holy reactor. And it looks like we're going in here. The Ark is hidden from pilgrims' eyes, but considering the extraordinary circumstance of your visit to this monastery, I grant you that right. The hall that leads to the high reliquary has been barred by the enemy, but I will open a secret path for you. Enter the Ark and experience the motive force, pilgrim. We will pray to the security systems that they may refrain from punishing you. I can't do that. I must press on. May the charge of the Omniseal's grace persist in the batteries of... Okay. In we go. We've got to get him raised up, don't we? I don't want to do 9 ranks. I honestly don't. Okay, you know what? We'll move on without. I kind of wish that, like other not Telltale, other Alcat games, they'd come in at a higher level. So you didn't have to do every rank.
Has detected something.
It's not so bad when you're just doing it for 4 characters, but we've got 6 characters here.
Know your duty.
Deal with Aurora. The face of the woman who stands before you is hidden behind a grotesque barred mask. Yet the voice pouring out beneath it belongs to someone else. It is the husky, somber voice of a void wolf, a boarder of ships. How predictable your path is, how static. All the possible deaths you have skirted, only to perish here in the fiery tempest that will mark the final dawn. The woman turns her mask to Pascal and gloats. You have arrived just in time, little cog. The schismaticals use your regalia like a mask to subdue the reactor. Pascal's voice rasps musically. A cog. I cannot comprehend why apostates try to insult me by comparing me to the sacred symbol of our faith. It is irrational. His visor lights up like a crimson herald of bloodshed, and his drilling mechadendrite whirs viciously. As it readies to strike, the sacred cog grinds all corruption to dust. From the dust I will build order. Step away from the sacred reactor and I might allow you to surrender. Surrender? The goal of it? You are chained to the falsehood of a dead god's religion. Actually, I'm not, but we're following along for now. Captives do not take captives. The woman's voice breaks and shifts to a different pitch and timbre. A martyr's voice, young, fervent, and in pain. Time has all but run out. I can hear the fist of the future knocking on the door of the present. Choose quickly what you want to be when it walks in. A blind slave to what is gone, a faithful servant to what has come, or a corpse. I would take some time to wrest from you the details of the future that the cult prophesies. Hopefully when we're done, what's left of you will be able to will be capable of coherent speech. What you'll be is the living torch blazing for his glory. Argenta's voice burns with pure hatred and trembles with impatience to make the promise come true. Enough! I'll rid Rickard Manoris of your tyranny. The woman's voice becomes thin and brittle, like that of an innocent child. Execute them in the name of the Edge of Daybreak. The Electro Priests ripped their hands off the command panels, rending their flesh on the stakes that pierced them, as their schismatical controlled bodies are imbued with emotive forces radiance. All the unfortunates can do is scream in horror and plead for swift death. Aurora begins muttering an unholy litany in broken Gothic. You cannot make out the blasphemous words, but the name of the heretic keeps repeating. The Edge of Daybreak digs into your hearing like a blade into defenseless flesh. Its sound is almost physically painful. It spawns strange, impossible phantoms in your mind. However, you manage to muster your strength and banish it from your mind.
Grovel before the faithful!
Your Emperor won't save you!
Grovel before the
Right, we're getting
faithful.
back in.
Let the blood flow!
Cultist fighter, cultist gunner, cultist gunner, cultist gunner, cultist gunner. There's an electro priest back there. There's an electro priest there. Gunner, gunner, fighter, gunner, gunner.
Anything else? Farewell.
Whole bunch of damage done.
Your blood will flow!
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
Argenta,
Faith without deeds is worthless.
run and gun.
As the Emperor... Doubt is for the eradicated.
Henrix.
I need a foothold.
There's an electro priest there. See if we can take them down at all. Abelard.
Indeed. I will do my duty. I took care of this one.
Angelina.
Actions will speak louder than words. And so shall it be done. I will not be deterred.
That bloody missed because of this thing, didn't it?
I am your doer. Pain of this mortal flesh. Nothing. I bring ruin.
Throne out of my way!
Damage is negligible.
Chaos guides me!
One more turn after this before the reactor explodes.
Was that you? Or... I know what is to come.
Electoral priest there.
I serve the ruinous power!
Pretty sure the priests are the ones that are most dangerous.
As the Emperor, none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay, let's put that back to, so they help us. Taking them out helps us. Heinrichs.
The Emperor is on our side. I won't object to it. Naturally. But of course, Lord Captain.
Have a lad.
My place is at the fore. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call.
The Emperor commands.
Let's get this. Put that on.
And so shall it be done. Actions will speak louder than words. Your defiance is futile!
Okay.
I'm...
Death to the weak!
Why did I not foresee this? Be gone!
He's down. That puts us back to having 2 rounds.
They who discern the future on the battlefield. But of course, not this Scryer's job. On it. Farewell. My prescience has failed me.
Death to non-believers!
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Pascal.
My vow is to serve. Request approved. Running by narrative.
Priest down. There's another one up there. But how do I do anything with that?
Injuries will not slow me. I'll do it.
I'll put my psychic abilities to use.
What's that? Word of the Emperor.
Let's see to it.
Ballad. Electro Priest is all the way in the back there. But even if we take them down, what are we meant to do then?
Indeed.
Another Electro Priest there. Is there something at the back?
Rejoice in service. I will not be deterred. The Emperor commands. Let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
I'm
4 rounds until the reactor goes up.
Legacy is forever.
Idira.
Anything else? Be gone.
Out of my way!
Pascal.
Request approved. My vow is to function
Another
successfully
down.
terminated.
Run and gun.
Faith without deeds is worthless. Each strike is a prayer. Eradicate it.
Your end is near!
Everyone,
Heinrich.
step aside. For the throne's glory.
reduced to dust.
Your end is nigh.
It's got you up there. not exactly what I had in mind. Dear.
Will do. What an unfortunate turn of fate. Anything else?
Oh, is that the priest? It is. What do we do at the back, though? Anything? Because if not, I don't even think we can get back forward again.
Explorers know one route. Forward. Running by Derek Override. The Omniscient knows all. Comprehends all.
Damn it. She can't get around there? Ah, hell.
I will bathe this battlefield in...
Don't care about him. Up a lad. Don't think you can hit him, can you? No. Are we meant to do something up here, I wonder? Adira.
Cover me! Will do.
Pascal.
Narrative dictates. The spiritual brought insignificant value.
Oh, okay, we took them down, that was it. Alright, enough! Now an age-rattling voice speaks from you, to you from behind her blood-stained mask. You are powerless to halt the approach of what is to come. I see a crimson trail leading humanity to its doom. I see the glow of the final dawn, and that means existence has made its choice. A dagger flashes in Aurora's hand. She drives it into the control panel with all her strength. Now you will see it too. A blinding voltaic arc bursts forth from the broken control panel and strikes Aurora's uncanny mask. Its metal heats up, smoke billows under the bars. With a howl, the poultice collapses. The light is gone. What was it? The final dawn? But why was it so different from what our teacher promised? Aurora shakes her head blindingly. Her voice is now the voice of an ordinary middle-aged woman, frightened and in pain. You'll pay for this, you... The woman's body goes limp and collapses on the floor. Her iron mask hits the ground with a dull thud. Pascal examines the corpse with contempt, then concludes dryly, confirming purgation and termination. Heinrich's grimace has been discussed. The heretic took her secrets with her. Pity. Heinrich approaches Aurora's body and leans over it. A minute, please, Angelina Reid. I need no more than a minute. Inspect the control panel. The cogitator is probably well beyond repair, but your attention is drawn away from the sacred machine, towards a dagger sticking out of the control panel. On closer inspection, it turns out to be a lavishly decorated handguard of a sword, whose blade had been pried out. Its pommel is decorated with strange adornments resembling an eye, covered by a scaled lid. What remains of the blade has a blue sheen to it, the same tint as Conrad's weapon during the mutiny on his ship. This is no human-made object. It was grown from wraith bone, a material favoured by the Eldari. As you lean over the shard, you suddenly hear a multitude of voices. They blend together and individual words are distorted, as though they are mocking your attempt to grasp their meaning. The nagging whisper is like the burning red scratch of an unholy claw at your mind. Well, we're taking that, obviously. When you touch the abomination, the whispers in your ears become louder and more bloodthirsty. You pocket the trophy surreptitiously, just before the interrogator appears at your shoulder. Hendricks gives you an appraising look, then shifts his gaze to the cogitator's control panel. An impressive blow. I suppose whatever she used to breach the frame was melted by the impact of the motive force. Rogue Trader, on behalf of the Holy Orders, I thank you for your cooperation and release you from requisition. From this moment on, I am at your service. I am ready to come aboard your ship and head for Footfall as soon as you deem it possible. That is, if you do not have other business in this system, in which case I'm prepared to assist you in prompt resolution. Move mask. The iron helmet is firmly attached to Heretic's flesh. Her face is impossible to make out in the darkness behind the bars of her mask. But after peering at it for a little longer than necessary, you wonder if, for a moment, you saw something move. Let's finish cleansing the monastery, Pascal. Executing, let the Omnissiah given motive force flow, and all obstacles in its path be eradicated. Miraculous fusion reactor, okay. Grab all the loot. And then I guess we can get back out. What's here?
The Divine watches over us!
The hell I'd like to dying Cenobium greets his savior. Okay. We're done. Out we go. And with that, we head out. With that, we head out. We seem to be completed this area.
Rogue Trader. I was somewhat brusque at our first meeting, and I would like to make up for it by expressing my thanks for your assistance in the electrodynamic Cenobium. Your arrival could not have come at a better time.
Interrogator of the scamp bow.
Unfortunately, my personal investigation has hit a dead end. I think I will have to call upon outside resources to continue the search.
You see Henrik's expression sour at these last words. That is a shame. I'm keeping the blade.
My missions do not always end in success. Unfortunately.
Heinrich has piercingly gazed at you for several seconds, then he looks away.
There is one more thing. The Lord Inquisitor gave me this item some time ago. He must have thought it likely that I would find myself aboard this vessel sooner than he. I was instructed to deliver this device to Lady Theodora. However, given recent events, I believe I ought to present it to you. This is an elucidator, a sacred machine capable of translating the languages of remote and lost worlds into Low Gothic. It can even process Xenos languages to a certain degree. Not without infelicities, but possibly well.
Be honest, Kalox, is this some kind of tracking device?
Certainly not. The elucidator is such a rare and complex
He
creation
sounds
of the
honest.
Omnissiah that neither I nor any of my colleagues would dream of compromising its
Plus, he
integrity.
could be lying.
If you wish, have your tech priests confirm that there are no listening devices inside.
Heinrich cuts you a glance, one which you suddenly realise is charged with a strange, almost personal interest, before deferentially averting his gaze.
Apologies in advance if I unknowingly violate the protocol for conversing with someone of your elevated status. I think a slip in composure is to be expected when one is hosted personally in the Lord Captain's study.
Conversing with you is no less disconcerting for me, Master von Kalox.
After serving in the Holy Ordos all these years, I'm used to people being wary of me.
One cannot blame the Imperium citizens for fearing the Inquisition.
Such a fear sometimes indicates that a person has something to hide. Lack of guilt proves nothing. Even thoughts can be dangerous heresy.
What do you plan to do now?
I would like to offer my assistance in resolving your immediate problems. I am aware that the ship suffered considerable losses during the recent mutiny and was damaged by the cultists' actions, and you have lost many valuable officers as well. You are in a difficult situation. I am at your disposal.
What do you think will become of the electrodynamic Cenobium?
It all depends on the electro-priests who survived the attack. Fortunately for them, the cultists did not manage to seriously corrupt the holy site, partly thanks to the priesthood's efforts. Nevertheless, I would not be surprised if the local explorator fleet decides to audit and purge the damaged units once it hears about what has happened.
I must return to my duties. Heinrich's about to say something else when he's interrupted by the sound of a Vox signal. Someone else is trying to contact you.
Thank you for your time. Please consider me at your complete disposal while I am aboard your vessel.
Congratulations on your victory, your lordship. The entire vessel was impatiently awaiting the news of your expedition's success. The rumours about you not simply saving the Tech Priest Monastery, but actually eliminating the source of the mutiny are spreading like wildfire. Vox transmissions from across the world speak of nothing else. Governor Midina is expecting you at his command centre to discuss matters. We are ready to depart immediately, just give the order. And that's where we'll pick up next time. Thanks for joining me. Whoa, I'm off camera. Didn't see.